Yo, what's up guys? Today's video is gonna be an upper body day. First, we're gonna start on the lat pull down. So one thing you guys should know about me is that I love high intensity training. I love training towards failure, like Mike Menser and Dorian Yates, and I also love to do low volume. When you see me on an exercise, I'm usually gonna be doing one set to failure, to complete failure with partials or something like that. I find that's the best for muscle growth for me, and I can really grind out progression very well. We got 110 pounds for 8 on this. It was the last rep was almost gonna get 9. Now we're moving on to the incline bench. Usually for my exercises, I like to really control the negative, but especially with incline bench, I love to control the negative. One of the reasons why my chest is one of my strong points in my physique is because I really mastered the form on incline bench. Even with this slow and controlled form, I'm still able to move 125 pounds pretty easily. Another thing you should know is that I do like the middle rep ranges. I like around 6 to 10. After that, it's a little bit too long and I don't get a lot out of the first few reps. Alright, on to the upper back row. This is my actual weak point, this and rear delts. So I do 2 sets of these and I really make sure to progress on them. It was 50 pounds for 5. I'm not going to show the second set because it's kind of boring to watch, to be honest. Not my favorite to train, but I do like to get that full stretch at the bottom. Alright, now we're on to the preacher curls. Preacher curls are honestly one of my favorite exercises. They're pretty hard. They're not that fatiguing, which is a good thing. And they don't use a lot of momentum, so you really get all of the bicep. It's more biased towards the short head, which doesn't really matter too much, but some people have a weakness in the long head, some people have a weakness in the short head. For me, I have a weakness in the short head, so this is perfect for me. You will see, this is the one exercise, this and incline bench, I really push myself on. Like, look at this rep. This is just an insane rep. You don't see a lot of people pushing that hard in the gym. With some exercises, you might want to do an eccentric after you do the last rep, just for the increased amount of growth. And another thing I want to talk about is how important progressive overload is. If you're not adding reps or weight in a reasonable way, you're just going to be spinning your wheels in the gym. For example, on preacher curls, I added 1 rep this workout. I think over like 2 or 3 months, I went from like 20 pounds for like 6 to 25 pounds for 7. That's a big amount of increase. And yeah, that's really what's going to be driving your gains. Yeah, I threw the dumbbell on the ground. I'm not going to do that again. It might break the floor. Alright, now on to the side delts. We're going to do these side raises. I'm not able to do standing side raises because my cable is not long enough. It would be better because I get more of a stretch, but these are also super fun, so I'm happy with them. There was one more thing I want to talk about. Yeah, strength in general is just super important. I don't show you in here, but I do really focus on dips and pull-ups, especially the weighted variations. The last time I maxed out, I was able to do 70 pounds pretty easily on dips and 45 pounds really easily on pull-ups. Now I'm a lot stronger. That was 2 months ago. So yeah, making sure to progress on something that hits the muscles you're looking for and you're getting a good range of motion. For some people, you may prefer bench over dips, but dips you got to go a bit lower, and I just feel it a lot more, and I get more tricep. When I'm doing bench, I just feel like um, I feel like the weight is kind of shaky, and it's like hard to control. Whereas on dips, I can control it pretty easily. For pull ups are just great for the back. If you want more of a compound movement, you might want to go with chin ups. They get the bicep really well. Mike Menser was saying this years ago. All right, now we're moving on to the tricep pushdown. Not my favorite, but I'm not able to set up overhead extensions. They're just too uncomfortable. If you look here, my right elbow is actually more into the side. I need to work on that. Um, with these, you don't get too much of a stretch, but you do get that big contraction, which is still important in my opinion. And as long as you're progressive overloading, you're fine. Yeah. In the future, guys, I'm gonna be looking to get protein powder and maybe pre-workout. So if you don't mind leaving some recommendations in the comments. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.